to get anything else, and it's just been a massive struggle against this Necro Coddle lane. Just nothing he can do. Look at this. Palos is gone.
God.
Zephyr secures first blood on the Keeper of the Light. Execration, there is going to be a hell of a lot of reliance here on Bob to be able to carry you through this mid game. See if Bob can get it done. He's certainly off to a great start though, and that's what you want to see if you're Execration. There's Carl.
Oh.
We chase down a nice gank attempt here from Execration. Split Earth is going to land, and Carl is going to drop. Bob able to take the kill, and well now, and that is exactly what Cuckoo is off to. Still, top tier 1 tower. Going to be focused by Execration. Zephyr's going to be there on the Coddle though, but it might be a tough defense as Whitemon is going to get jumped. Carl's going to show up with the epicenter, but who are we aiming down? He'll go after the Abaddon. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade, but now he's in big trouble. A nice stun out. They've taken down Carl a second time. Zephyr is still trying to defend. He'll chase down...
And Execration's having much more presence, so despite both pause ones getting that slow start, Execration feels a lot stronger because they're building off this foundation Bob has laid out, and as long as they keep applying this pressure, as long as they keep cutting down the map, it feels good.
Yeah, Palos get caught out. Carl gonna put the hand up for a high five, giving him the wave. And well, Palos, he tried to use the counter spell to get himself out, but it was not quite enough. Carl was just very...
Does have the cloak, but not the full Hood of Defiance, so he's still pretty burstable with magic damage here.
Cuckoo. He jumps now. Stun will land into the follow-up. He never got the Ghost Round off, but no, he does get it barely in time. And that may have saved his life. At least for now, as Vincenzo's even going to move in. Cuckoo, dropping lower, is going to drop. Execration, able to find a big one. They got the Necrophos down.
More durable. We haven't seen the effect of him running up with the Reapers yet. You know, they haven't had that setup come out from T1. So all this gold being invested on the Necro, still waiting for really the Sand King to be ready to follow through.
So they're going to find the Abaddon here. No Fiend's Grip necessary. Vincenzo going to drop. Still lacking that level 6 on the Abaddon, just barely. On right behind Cuckoo on the Necrophos is Tino. Going to show himself, but this is all bait. They think they've got a free target, but that's not the case. Carl, he'll make the jump in with the epicenter onto Tino. That'll be a Dragon Knight gone. They'll even commit the Reaper's Scythe just in case. Shanks, he'll be okay to TP up, but I can't say the same for Vincenzo. Will eventually get stunned up. Does pop the borrowed time, but there's your Fiend's Grip from Whitemon. No playing around. They want everything they can get, and they will take it.
Okay, so jumping up is still a tough prospect, but they could isolate someone here.
Now they've got Cuckoo. Smoke will be broken, but Cuckoo is completely alone, and I doubt his team gets there in time to try and help him out. The Ghost Shroud is going to be there in time, but Bob still just with the Pulse Nova doing so much damage, but Cuckoo, he's still out of there. At least for now, he's running. He may have made it as now Carl comes in with the Burrow Strike Epicenter on Bob. Oh, he cops the Reaper's Scythe and he's going to drop. Cuckoo somehow still alive as he gives the voice lines. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt for Execration as now they move in for more. T1 not done yet. Still Palos. He'll jump in. He'll try to get something done, but he drops so low so quick. He's going to make his own blink out, and he will make it, but Cuckoo, he'll take the kill onto Shanks. Onto Vincenzo they go. That'll be another.
The Illuminate ult at night from the Coddle. You still have some. They might isolate Bob here.
Yeah, that's a big target. Bob, the highest net worth hero right now on the side of Execration. Going to be protected by Vincenzo, but the Burrow Strike is in. He's dropping too low. Bob needs to run. He'll make it out. I can't say the same for the Abaddon though. Vincenzo, he's going to drop, but they're going to counter-initiate. Palos moving in, trying to protect Tino on this Dragon Knight, but the magic damage is way too high.
Epicenter ready to go on Carl. So you should be able to find the angle. They've got a pretty good low ground ward here to spot anyone playing by the tier 2. And we just need to work that out. Although, they see Tino instead.
They do. Tino, well, he's quite tanky, but not tanky enough. Gonna be a nice easy pick off there for T1. And with the BKB up now on Gabby, it seems there's not really much in the way of stopping them right now. You're back.
Carl caught.
Top lane. Yeah, epicenter, Burrow Strike out onto Bob. Whitemon right behind. Does get the Nightmare, has the Fiend's Grip as well, but just waiting on Vincenzo to use that Aquatic Shield. It won't matter. Reaper's Scythe gonna fly out. And poor old Vincenzo, well, he was trying to help, but he is gonna pay for it quite heavily as he will lose his own life. And hell, if you're T1 right now, John, you're thinking about Roshan.
Yeah, you can just rush in. You've got the damage out in pretty good position to get this done as well. You might be able to find a couple though, Shanks.
There you go, Shanks. Taken down immediately here by Zephyr. So hard once you cop that solar bind. Just so hard to get away. And that tier 2 mid tower not going to last very long either. Very easy for Team 1. This is something the panel talked about as well, John. When you've got that Luna on your side of things, pushing objectives is not difficult whatsoever. Who do they find? Line being drawn out does lead to Carl and Zephyr. Either one would probably be a great kill right now, but they're going to miss out on Carl. Instead, Zephyr is still around. If they can catch him out, and with the Dragon Tail they will. That'll be one. Team 1 almost thought about rushing in there to try and force the fight, but it'll be a disadvantageous position for them, so they'll leave it be for now. Just wait it out for another time, I think.
That's a pretty big pick-off. Zephyr is worth 7k net worth, just about the same level as Tino. T1 will go for that smoke play now, but you have to appreciate that. Zephyr matching an offlane.
Yeah, I certainly do, John. Bob, he's just gone instantly. Vincenzo not able to move in and help out. They don't even require the Reaper's Sight for the Leshrac, and well, with the Nightmare, they can just hold Vincenzo down. And there's your Reaper's Sight. Roshan time. The AM does feel a bit stronger and a bit more able to join these engagements, but he may go now. A lot of TPs coming in. Palos will join in. They'll try and focus down Cuckoo, but the Nightmare is going to save, or maybe not. They've drained all the mana, but now Gabby with the Eclipse trying to move in onto Bob, onto Vincenzo. Who are we actually aiming? Bob, he's still alive, but not for long. A big Burrow Strike epicenter. Carl's in. Tino's in trouble. On the DK, he's going to drop. And Shanks, well, he may not make it out either. It was a decent start. They focused down the Necro, but that's about all they get, along with Whitemon, and they'll pretty much wipe the...
And that opens up the high ground. No Dragon Form on a respawn here for Tino, and the siege is simple.
Another Burrow Strike, Carl getting the double stun off. Palos, so much damage being taken, as the Solar Bind's going to slow him down. Chakra Magic, John.
Now it's all about stalling out for this AM to grow bigger and bigger, and maybe try to build up a little bit more onto Bob as well.
Well, speaking of the Devil, John, Bob has been caught behind a Burrow Strike of Carl right into the epicenter and the Reaper's Sight. It's so hard to fight into this. It's T1, they're more than happy to keep it going. Vincenzo, he'll tank a lot of the damage flying out, but Gabby right in onto the Gyrocopter going for another target, and there goes Shanks. Vincenzo, he's gone as well. No chance of survival. Might be high ground time. A minute on that Aegis left. They won't stop. They'll go for 2, and I think after that it'll be time to back off. Otino gonna jump in. There goes Palos as well, but he's been caught out again. No chance. Is the top racks is gone, and T1, they might force the buyback and go for T4 towers.
Yeah, can't quite go for Mega Creeps. Tier 2 still standing bot, but you have a Luna. The glaives just bounce around. This is not going to take too long to melt through 2 tier 4 towers here.
Carl channeling up the Epi. Just pump faking right now, warning them. Palos still not buying back, just being very patient as they'll go on to Tino now with the break, the Dragon Knight. Just not tanky enough, and now the Eclipse. Vincenzo just can't survive as Palos is still not buying back. Gabby, almost hoping to die at this point, does finally go down. He needed the reset. But this game, I mean, it's basically over. There's no buyback coming out. There we go. Palos is now going to move in, but they've lost Tino a second time.
It's... They don't have much fight. Yeah, it's a rough one for Execration. I think, again, it just came down to maybe timing from the off. They had this really strong start for Bob. The mid lane went surprisingly well. Execration played as they said in the interview. Right, they went in, guns blazing onto mid, trying to pressure Carl, trying to ensure Bob gets off to a good start. They found the tier 1 mid.
Not been able to catch a break. It's now mid lane. Bob, he'll go for a bit of a chase onto Carl. Might have enough damage as well with the Firefly, and he does secure first blood. At least is securing some CS here in this bot lane, so I can't say it's quite as bad as, say, game 1.
Yeah, definitely not as bad. The build-up for Clinks is the weird one, though. Although they do catch Zephyr out.
Oh, do they? They do. Cuckoo gonna be unable to trade as Palos will be very happy with that kill and does even get a free salve out from his Bane. Happy days here for the Clinks as he's looking down Cuckoo now. You might be able to set up onto this Necrophos. Brain Sap back off cooldown. Palos will move in, and Cuckoo Well, he had the Ghost Shroud, but it wouldn't have helped anyway. He just doesn't bother popping.
Early timing onto the Maelstrom. Usually we see a Gleipnir build up again from Chidori. Top though, Bob going aggressive.
Yeah. Lymon currently on fire. Freeze, not the biggest fan of fire, though Carl's going to move in now. Rolling Thunder is on cooldown, but they still get a great trade. They found the Kunkka, and in fact the chase is on for Bob now. You've still got the haste rune going here for Carl, so he'll move in, try and focus down this kill. The Shanks is going to intervene and not allow him to keep going. So instead he'll take Shanks' life perhaps as the sticky napalm, slowing him down along with the flame break. Carl, he goes too far and Bob punishes.
The best saves from T1 at all for the lasso. You have no real source of dispels, so the lasso is always going to be a constant issue down bot. Bob showing up.
That he is, Bob, in keeping aggressive as possible as Cuckoo will be targeted on the Necrophos. Ghost Shroud is popped, but that is not going to save you. Not from the Batrider. Bob looking very confident the way of the Dire if they get away with this, and nobody's coming. They are not going to contest. Instead, they're going down bot lane to try and kill Cuckoo, but I think it's well worth it for T1. And they'll just keep fighting over these Ancients. Bob does eventually get Cuckoo down, but I still think T1's more than happy with this.
Yep. That's farm that's supposed to go to Chidori for him to play with a Burning Barrage. And now you bleed out here in Exit.
Going to be able to take that double damage run away, but mid lane, Bob. Lasso is out. Cuckoo once again being the target. They really hate this Necrophos. It's Vincenzo with the Fiend Grip stopping the Pangolin mid-track. This Carl cannot help out. Bob able to set up a knuckle with the double damage, but now Bob looking to turn back in onto Whitebot. Overgrowth is going to be there though. Carl looking for that Batrider, but the shield crash swashbuckle is not enough. Once again, Execration come out on top.
From timing, it does become a lot faster clear out. They catch Gabby.
Oh, that's a great kill. They do end up picking off Gabby.
Would inhibit. You might be able to at least find a simple pick-off for themselves.
Well, they found Shanks. It's not the greatest kill in the world, but it's certainly something. Something that they need.
It's tied into Death Pact the same way Terrorblade's tied into Metamorphosis. So it's a little bit of a back and forth in that timing. I do feel like if you go ultra late game, the Terrorblade feels a lot better. His stat game's a lot better than the Blink's. He has his output's always good, and it scales a lot better. So late game, Terrorblade favored. Mid game, pretty even, depending on the itemization here.
And now Zephyr going to drop here to Bob once again, as they will try to move on to the Bane and get some sort of trade going for themselves. But Vincenzo will drop. Is Carl looking for a bit more?
Rushing to BKB now on Tino. A lot more presence coming out from the Kunkka. It's very hard to fight into the boat, and they are hunting here.
They are. Rolling Thunder is out. Carl going to move in. Bob, he's a massive pick-off. You don't want to lose this guy right now. Nightmare, it's not going to be enough. That's a big one. Carl will be happy with that, but now the turnaround. Tino will throw the boat in. Palos going for the Burning Barrage, but a big overgrowth out. It's got 4 heroes, but where's the follow-up? It's actually Cuckoo that drops. In fact, Carl, he even went down to Tino. It's a great team fight for Execration if they can make their way out, but they are falling slowly but surely as the blinding light comes through. They all just melt. They're looking to try and move in. Bob, gonna show off the map for now, but oh, has he made it obvious he's there? White one's trying to bait him in, but the scan out is going to make it very clear that he does have help behind him. So instead, they'll go after Shanks. That'll ensure Bob does get out intact. And instead, they're just waiting for the right opportunity to try and force a fight, but it just hasn't shown itself yet. Shanks. Carl will move in. They've got the purge up. Shanks. Well, he's not going to be able to swap himself out. He will just cop the Reaper's sight. That'll be enough for T1.
And now T1 going for smoke. Execration as well. Smoke and smoke.
Yeah, here we go. Smoke on smoke situation. Bob gonna move in already with the lasso target onto Cuckoo. It's a great one to get started as Cuckoo's already dropping. Fiend Grip even committed. They'll take him down. A great start for Execration, but now Carl, he's onto the Batrider. Bob gonna drop immediately as a swap. It's not gonna be good enough. Shanks trying his best. Now the overgrowth out onto the Bane, which will mean a third target to go down. And I'll tell you what, John. I didn't really see what Palos did in that team fight.
To break up T1's counter initiation, and they didn't manage to. So it gives T1 another angle to come in. They just roll up with Carl. They have Gabby pop Meta, do damage into Roshan as well. Aegis goes Gabby's way, and they might chase a few here.
They may. Tino He's going to try and back out, but he is completely surrounded, and he knows the Reaper Sight's off cooldown.
It feels like the Clinks needs more than that. I'd say BKB would be very useful for Pilots to stand and fight. After that, Scotty, he can try to keep using the Death Pack. They do manage to kill off Bob as well. And that momentum coming through from the Batrider is starting to fade here, right?
You'd root them down, you'd go for the Burning Barrage. It's not really the same build-up, and we're now mid-lane. Whitemon gonna set up with a great overgrowth. And that should be 2 to go down as Vincenzo, he'll be the first, and Shanks will be the second. No problem for T1.
He didn't have a fastest start, and I think a lot of that came out no follow-up for Bob again. And speaking of Bob,
look at the damage. Carl just in one swashbuckle taking out over half of Bob's HP. And that'll be Bob Khan. Reaper's Scythe is there from Cuckoo. Tips are out for Bob. They're feeling themselves now. It's the tier 2 bottom tower under siege, and still BKB available with the Aegis here on the TB. Plenty of ways to survive through the onslaught that is Execration when they do make their move. Swap out, Fiend's Grip immediately onto Cuckoo. It's a great start to the team fight. Shanks may drop, in fact never mind. Lasso is there onto Gabby. That'll be the first line. Keep in mind he has no Metamorphosis, but he does still have that BKB up to the boat. Not really going to do much. And Gabby, he's going to go for the racks and just TP out. He won't quite get it though. The illusions do go down, but here comes Carl now. Onto Shanks they go, that'll be 1. Zephyr's still in massive trouble, so he's going to go down to the keeper. And so Execration, they do successfully defend high ground. I think you're better off just getting the Dark Troll Summoner, John, and just summoning more skeletons.
Yeah, there
I
you
think
go.
that's the way to
do
go.
that too.
Just summon skeletons. Make your own arms.
Well, smoke out from T1 here, Mike.
There he is. Well, I'm going to move in. Shanks, he'll be targeted here on the Venge, and there's no way out. Reaper Scythe again. Cuckoo just going to take care of him.
That way, and you can just wait for Roche. There is still decent hold coming out from Execration. Good swaps, good lassos can make a difference. Although speaking of, Bob gets caught down. Bob,
maybe I'm going to sit up onto Whitemon. It may not be the target you really want to start on, especially considering Whitemon does have friends around, so instead they're going to try on Carl. Fiend's Grip is stacked up on top of the lasso. Can they actually get the kill though? Overgrowth maybe buying some time as Carl. He's going to roll up. There's your Rolling Thunder. He should still drop, but no, he's out of there. Oh, he is well and truly out as Palos is still chasing him down, but he can't keep up. He'll pop the BKB eventually, but they are ignoring him completely. Gabby trying to find a target to hit. May have to settle for Tino. The BKB is popped. Tino still not going to make it out. Just too much of the Dire, but they've got about a minute and a half to try and figure out how they're going to try and fight against it.
Palos?
Very far forward. Solarbind is there. They don't even need the Rolling Thunder yet. They will eventually pop it and chase down Palos. Shanks is already gone. Palos, he's trying to fight with the BKB up. That's not going to be enough either. He just has to run. The chase continues, the roll-up is there, Carl tucks a U-turn, they've got the clinks, and there's your Reaper Sight. It's not quite enough, but eventually, with the shield crash, they'll get it done. Is even Tino. He needs the BKB TP away from Zephyr. One might just settle for Megas. Bob, we'll see what he can get done here on this Batrider. Very hard without the follow-up damages. Carl, he's just going to roll right through onto Shanks. Solarbind will be there to follow up with the Nature's Grasp, and Carl, he'll just keep rolling right through him. The Illuminate will get the job done. He'll just hold everyone else back. Shanks will buy back, but again, you are still without the clinks. Bob, he blinked in, but he doesn't find the target. They'll leave without Megas, though.
Forward vision, but it's not nearby Roche, so they're not going to be able to contest that properly. They might walk up the high ground.
Tino, that is a very aggressive walk up. I'm not sure about that one. Overgrowth's gonna lock everyone down again. Whitemon with the perfect initiation. They'll take down the Dream Protector, but that's about all they're getting right now as Palos has been targeted. Gabby just wanting the clinks. In fact, never mind that. They'll go after Tino or Carl. He'll chase Palos down by himself, but can you lock him down long enough? He mistimes the blink. So Palos might actually have a chance, or maybe not. The swashbuckle does land. Carl's still going, but now the Fiend Drip gonna hold him down. They're trying their absolute best. Palos though's gonna die to Zephyr without buyback once again. And Gabby, he'll just focus on the top racks. He's not interested in the team fight right now. He could not care less about what's happening across the map. He'll just go for megas. As everyone on T1 just laughs at themselves, and well, there'll be mega creeps in the way. In fact,
It's really tough. And we still have single target control. Gabby's just going for Chaso. Yeah, he's just going for tier 4s instead. Doesn't have the most time left on, well, that's still halfway through. And should be able to clean up, force the buyback. I don't see any angles for Execration, Mike. Maybe a fountain pullback with Lasso or a swap.
we go Bob. Trying his best to buy a bit of time. Tips are already out. They know they've got Bob here, or maybe Tino does save the day. Still Zephyr just chasing him down on his own with the Solar Bind and the Illuminate Zephyr. He's gonna take him down. I mean, why the hell not? Keeper of the line just getting it all done as now he finds Shanks. He gets another. Fountain timing time it is. They want the GD call and they're gonna get it. Palos has seen enough. Game 2 to go the way of Team 1. I know you told me, John. Do we still have a question mark over the Klinks hero?